Hot. Joe Biden humiliates Boris as he's forced to plead with Taliban for extension. Joe Biden has humiliated Boris Johnson after the US president rejected pleas from the G7 to keep troops in Afghanistan beyond the end-of-month deadline. The Prime Minister, French President Emmanuel Macron and German Chancellor Angela Merkel have so far failed to convince President Biden to extend the August 31 deadline to withdraw troops from Afghanistan. More than 50,000 people have been rescued from the Taliban takeover in the past 10 days. Speaking this afternoon, Mr. Johnson said the G7 has set out a plan to engage with the Taliban and set a condition to allow refugees to flee Afghanistan through August 31 and beyond. He said, "What we have done today at the G7 is we have got together the leading Western powers and agreed not just a joint approach to dealing with the evacuation, but also a roadmap for the way in which we're going to engage with the Taliban, as it probably will be a Taliban government in Kabul. The number one condition we're setting as G7 is that they have got to guarantee, right the way through August 31 and beyond, safe passage for those who want to come out. Some will say that they don't accept that, and some, I hope, will see the sense of that, because the G7 has very considerable leverage, economic, diplomatic and political. President Biden is so far sticking to his decision to withdraw troops in 7 days' time, but is understood to have explored the possibility of a short extension during talks with G7 leaders. Almost 6,000 US troops have been deployed to Afghanistan to help with the rescue mission from Kabul airport. Earlier today, Taliban chief spokesman Zabihullah Mujahid rejected any possibility of an extension to the evacuation period in Afghanistan. EU leaders are particularly concerned about a major migration wave from Afghanistan as people desperately flee the much-feared Taliban rule. Following the meeting, Mr. Johnson said the UK will go right up until the last minute to rescue Afghans. He said, "We will go right up until the last minute that we can, but you've heard what the President of the United States has said, you've heard what the Taliban have said." He added, "We're confident we can get thousands more out, but the situation at the airport is not getting any better." Mr. Johnson added leaders had agreed the number one condition after August 31 was that the Taliban must grant safe passage for those who want to come out. Joe Biden has said he wants US troops to withdraw from Afghanistan as soon as possible, but confirmed contingency plans are being made if the August 31 date is not met. The US president said, "There was strong agreement among the leaders both about the evacuation mission underway as well as the need to coordinate our approach to Afghanistan as we move forward. First, on evacuation, we agreed we will continue our close cooperation to get people out as efficiently and safely as possible. We are currently on a pace to finish by August 31, the sooner we can finish the better. Each day of operations brings added risk to our troops, but the completion by August 31 depends upon the Taliban continuing to cooperate, allow access to the airport for those who we are transporting now, and no disruption to our operations. In addition, I have asked the Pentagon and the State Department for contingency plans to adjust the timetable should that become necessary. The US is on pace to complete its withdrawal from Afghanistan on August 31, Joe Biden's press secretary Jen Psaki has said. Ms. Psaki said, "During a meeting this morning with the G7 leaders, the President conveyed that our mission in Kabul will end based on the achievement of our objectives. He confirmed we are currently on pace to finish by August 31 and provided an update on progress in evacuating Americans who want to come home, third country nationals, and Afghans who were our allies during the war. He also made clear that with each day of operations on the ground, we have added risk to our troops with increasing threats from ISIS-K, and that completion of the mission by August 31 depends on continued coordination with the Taliban, including continued access for evacuees to the airport." In addition, the President has asked the Pentagon and the State Department for contingency plans to adjust the timeline should that become necessary.